So, low battery before, new fresh battery, I hope. Anyway, so yesterday was an adventure, and I bought, as usual, much too much sashimi. Uh, Over a pound of it, I think, altogether. Uh, 200 and something grams, I don't know, or 300 and something grams of tuna fish, and similar amount of um, lochs, salmon, salmo salar, uh, from aquaculture in Scotland. Uh, and I find that I normally think salmon sashimi is nowhere near as good as tuna fish. Wrong. This time around, I find that the salmon I like actually better. But there's a huge amount and I'm going to have to eat it up. Terrible, terrible. I just threw away a broccoli that I had cooked too late, and it just was not appealing. And yesterday in my, Tuesday I guess, in my travels, I bought fresh spinach, which I really like. I really like that. It's $2.79 for 500 grams. Not cheap, but I like it. So I cooked some last evening, ate some last evening, and ate some more this morning. I like to do that, leave a little in the pot so that the next day I don't have to cook it, but I have the benefit of it. That is to say, I think that it helps to keep my intestines moving smoothly, as do I believe that oatmeal, cooked or granola, but usually now cooked. So theoretically, at least every other morning, I cook half a cup dry of oatmeal, add a little maple syrup, which I now have in great supply, thanks to Gavi. One of the stores around, oh shit, low battery again. One of the stores around here, I think it's Aldi, sells maple syrup for half the usual price, only around Christmas time. And somehow they still had some left over a few weeks ago. That's like €3 a bottle instead of €6 a bottle. So Christmas time is stock up time. It's kind of aimed at people baking whatever the hell they bake at Christmas, and Aldi helps out. Anyway, so I have plenty of maple syrup. I need a half a bottle of it to make granola when I do that, and I won't have to do that for a while because it's being mostly substituted for by cooking. I'm going to focus this in a little closer. That's nicer. Anyway, so I cooked some porridge, added maple syrup, and I'm eating it now. Give us this day our daily oatmeal. keep things moving smoothly through, as smoothly as possible. Anyhow, now I've got an awful lot of sashimi, but I do like to eat it. I mean, and the tuna fish was definitely very fresh. I saw them open a new plastic sealed package of it, a big chunk. Um, Unfortunately, a part of it, like kind of like the bottom half or so, has a lot of connective tissue between muscle layers, which turns into like chewing gum when you eat the stuff. And I tried yesterday to sort out a technique for separating that out. I suspect that real sushi chefs have a technique for doing that, and that would leave strips of fish that are quite consistent with the thickness of the strips of fish that they put on sushi. So I suspect that they have a wisdom that I haven't yet got. But yesterday evening I ordered for 24 euros a sushi knife, sushi and sashimi knife, Japanese, on Amazon, where I buy practically everything I need, other than food, and even some food. Single malt scotch on the rare occasion. But I've got a lot of sashimi now, and this particular salmo salar is something like Port Douglas, or I don't know, I can't remember the first word, but the second one is Douglas, and cost almost as much per unit kilo as the tuna. The tuna is like 45 euros a kilo. This salmon was like 42 euros a kilo. I check that later, but anyway, it's not cheap, but lo and behold, I enjoyed it more than the tuna. So, nevertheless, I will eat it all, God willing. The tuna I like raw, but I don't like it cooked. It's just like dry cardboard or something cooked. The salmon is probably delicious cooked. It's fattier. You can feel that and taste it when I eat it. In any case, the salmon is easier to handle. I only have to take off the skin, which I've figured out and learned how to do pretty well. So on a rough plastic cutting board, get started and then slide the knife in real flat down against the skin, which is being held by my left hand and by the roughness of the cutting board, so that it's easy to just slice away that layer right under the skin, in this case over the skin, because the skin's on the bottom. So in a few days my sushi knife should come, and I will see how that improves my sushi chef technique. Actually, I don't particularly like sushi. What I really like is sashimi, just plain raw fish. Forget the rice, forget the sour rice. But a little wasabi is important and very much appreciated. So I could be doing this sitting up now, but it's still most comfortable to just lie down on the Feldenkrais bench. So I'm not sacrificing body comfort in order to do this, and I almost think I should turn the camera around, but no, it's just the way it is. I still have low battery, it's probably going to interrupt, but I was glad to see when it interrupted last time that the video file is there on the camera where it should be, and so it didn't screw up, it didn't like delete the video I was making, and let's see how long this low battery lasts. Last time around it said battery depleted and low battery power. This camera talks. It's a kind of feminine machine voice, like like in elevators or U-Bahns or whatever. What else? Yeah, so give us this day our daily porridge, our daily Haferflocken, our daily oatmeal, and I've warmed the oven to warm a croissant, backfertig croissant in the package, ready to heat up and eat with butter, plenty of butter. These are really good. These are apparently from Aldi also, so I will have to research and find the nearest Aldi that I can either bus or hopefully soon drive to. As long as my back was hurting so much that I couldn't sit even reasonably comfortably for any length of time, I would never drive, but it is getting better. It's getting better. I mean, yesterday, the only time I lay down was on a bench outside of Frische Paradies, my fish store, which I also call Fische Paradies. For a few minutes I lay down on a bench, and that was it. The previous time out, at the HNO, I was practically all of the waiting time that I spent, I was able to lie down. They have in the waiting room just a huge bench all the way around all the wall, 3 of the walls anyway, and in between tests I found that there was a lovely little like 2-person couch, sofa, which mother would call a love seat, where I could also lie down. So Tuesday's adventure had plenty of lying down, at least at the beginning, and then in between afterwards at Harras, there's a lovely flat, huge long bench system near McDonald's, Harras is a sort of major square with businesses all around, post office and so forth, and U-Bahn and S-Bahn and several buses, quite a few buses. So it's a little bit of a central spot. The one that's closest to where I live, it's about a kilometer or so. Anyway, too far to walk now, but fine by bus. So Tuesday I had a lot of lying down. Yesterday, I had just a tiny bit for 3.5 hours of outness. And while in line for the fish counter, I got to tell one of my favorite fish jokes. Maybe it's the only favorite fish joke. I can't think of any more right now. Anyway, it's some guy converts to Catholicism. From what? Doesn't matter. And as he converts and is baptized, the priest goes with holy water, I presume, Katholisch, deep, Katholisch. So shortly after his conversion, the priest who converted him comes by and smells grilling on Friday. What's going on here? So he stops in and finds the guy grilling a steak. And he says, "You just converted. You know damn well," excuse me, would he say that? "You know damn well that you don't eat meat on Friday, only fish." And the newly converted says, "Yes, Father, yes, Padre, I know perfectly well, and that's why I did this. Fish, fish, fish." Whatever works, works, Oder. 17 minutes and 48 seconds. Who would want to watch something like this? Anyway, life at the moment seems slowly to be getting better. My ear and my body, and looking forward to June, when it's likely that my first true love, Donna, will visit Europe. She has been a stewardess in part of her life and can travel for cheap or free or whatever it is, I don't know. Coming with her daughter, her son-in-law, and 2 grandchildren to Europe. They're visiting Paris, they're visiting Switzerland, and it looks like, in fact she said herself, that she might stop here in Munich for 3 days or something. So I've started looking into a hotel, offered that she could stay here, but I don't think that's smart. I think that she needs her freedom and independence, and yeah, who knows what's going to happen if she's really going to come. But it's fantastic incentive for me to work out my body issues so that there's a real prospect of being able to enjoy a walk in the park, which today I couldn't. I'd just be running from bench to bench, pretty much. Well, I don't know. Maybe today's not so bad. But in any case, that's 2 months. April and May, to get treatments or exercises or whatever, and walk more and work it out. excellent incentive, and also something to really look forward to. Which things to look forward to like that are pretty rare in my life at this point. What have I got to look forward to? Getting older, getting more back pains. I mean, I've had for many years pain on the right side, my right hip, as it were. But this 4 or 5 weeks ago started on the left side also, and that's a problem because with only one side, I could favor that side and make the pain less severe. But with two sides, I can't favor the bad side because they're both bad. In any case, and I hear more in my right ear than I did a couple days ago. I don't know why, but it's true, and I'm kind of fostering it the best I can. There's still extra tinnitus, but I can hear pretty well, and better anyway, and it looks like it's getting better too. So, in a little while, perhaps I'll just be perfect again like I used to be. When I look at my face, I don't recognize this as me. This is an old man that I never met. Yes. Donna doesn't look so different from what she did as a teenager, but I sure do. And I'm not going to clean myself up. I mean, this has really gone beyond reasonable until about a week and a half from now. Maybe it's 2 weeks. My friseur, who's British, lives here with his, I guess she's German, wife, Petra. They're both hairdressers. And John is a very pleasant chap. And the tradition in America, of course, for a man visiting his barber is that he chats with him, quatsches, like with a bartender,